you know. But he didn't tell me what I was doing. He confirmed it. That's what prophecy is for, is to confirm. You know, tongues and interpretation is not for the believers. It's if God gives a message in tongues, if it's interpreted right, it's going to be speaking to backsliders and sinners and unbelievers. But if it's a real divine prophecy from God, a gift of prophecy, it's going to edify and confirm. And the only way you're going to find your call is through fasting and praying. It's a lot easier to be a pastor if you can get it to work. But there ain't 100 churches, not a one on the face of the earth, that I'd give up what I know I'm best at and what works. And if they offered me $1 million a month, you know, if you find what you call for, it'll work. You know. And then we find here in Matthew's 22 and 14, Jesus, for many are called, but few. That's what makes it tough. Few are chosen. You may not understand that. It's up to you. You know, when these companies hires a bunch of people, they're not intended to keep them all. They'll hire 400 or 500 or 1,000 and put them on, and then after they work a few months, they'll find out who can do it and who can't. And they'll find a way to lay them off. They won't just outright fire them. They'll make like things ain't going right. Maybe the production ain't happening, but just to get rid of the ones that can't do the job. Well, I tell you, there'd be some messes if God worked that way, wouldn't it? And if God started laying off us preachers that wouldn't get it done, there'd be a lot of preachers out of a job. We'd probably be in a depression in the ministry. But it's us. And if you got a call on, I believe sometimes people have a call, but don't put nothing in it. And God don't back it up. Many are called. I believe God calls tens of thousands. And then when the showing and with the laboring and with the prayer and the fasting and the faithfulness, when you go through snow, rain, sleet. I've seen the time I left right here one Christmas. And I know I had pneumonia and Bobby W. and a fever. I laid back there in that van on a quilt, and I was soaking wet. And I don't remember who was driving those days, going to preach for Brother Anderson. And when I got there and he put me in the hotel, I was in such a fever but I didn't let that stop me from going. I was that sick. Because it was a year, we had a Christmas meeting here, and it was a flu epidemic. Probably hit everywhere. And it really hit here. And just not me, but hundreds of people around here had the flu. And they went to bed. They went to the hospital. And it just hit right at the end of that meeting. And I didn't see the difference in the crowds, but man, the doctor's office was full. But I didn't let that flu stop me, you know. And I was laying there. I was going to preach 3 or 4 days, Brother Anderson, he had the church in Lake Charles. And that first day, we traveled all night, got there, had to go have a morning service. Going to start that Sunday morning because we left here on Saturday night. And I didn't see how in the world. Man, I was so sick with that flu that about everybody had. But I got up and I went on out there that morning. And I come back that night and that fever all night long. But Monday morning, man, I was so... I said, God, I'm not going to let this thing stop me. But you know, sometime that Monday, that fever broke. And all that, you know, flu vomited. But you got to, you know, look what truck drivers put themselves through. Some of you have been truck drivers. How you pushed yourself. Well, your call. You know why you push yourself? Some of you truck drivers, some of you in other businesses, you went to work sick. Not just for the money. It was because you was trying to be a good workman and to fulfill your job. You didn't want nobody else to get your job. But the ministry is more important than a public job. We'll study, we'll go to school, we'll go to college, we'll go through all kinds of taking tests and everything. But God work, to be called to do to preach, that's the highest call you can get. The Bible didn't say it's a low calling. He said the high calling of God. When God calls you to minister, whether it's in teaching or even in ministering music, when God calls you, that's the highest call on the face of the earth. There ain't no reward. I don't care you tend to the sick, you take care of the offerings, you take care of the operation part of it, you get your reward, but there's no calling any higher than a soul winner. Somebody that can win souls, and somebody that can lay hands on the sick, and somebody that can put their heart, and they won't walk out to this pulpit because they know how to preach. They will, even though they may be tied up and sometimes hindered, but their spirit is reaching out. They'll find a 15 or 20 minutes. They'll find 30 minutes. Lord, you know I've been busy today. Help me, forgive me. But they'll get a hold. They'll find something at 15 or 20 minutes to go out there and to feed them people and to give them. But you got to. I don't like that word pride. And I'm not talking about pride like that, but you got to take pride. You got to take confidence. You got to take courage. You got to realize when you're called to preach, that is the greatest thing to win souls. That's more than being the president of the United States. Because Obama would probably be gone after next year. If something happens, and that's over for him. Oh, he may get that money rest of his life, but what are you going to do with yourself? But you got a greater call than being a president. 8 years is as long as you can be up there. But you can live 50 years. I was thinking today, 50 years ago, probably in July, 54 years ago in July, I went on the evangelistic field to carry this Word of God.